everyone, and welcome to the CPA Moms Podcast. I'm Nicole Kale, your host and the brand ambassador of CPA Moms. We believe that real success is meaningful only if it holds up in every area of your life, what we call the 4 F's: financial, firm or career, family, and fitness. So if one area is lacking, the rest lose their meaning. You can have a thriving career, but if your health is falling apart, then it really doesn't feel like success. And you can have all the money in the world, but if your family life is strained, the joy disappears. I am excited to welcome Connie Williams, a financial advisor with Edward Jones, located in Colorado. Connie specializes in wealth strategies, retirement income planning, business retirement plans, and helping new investors and entrepreneurs build secure financial futures. She believes that financial planning is not just about dollars and cents. It's about helping people live their values. Kind of a popular topic around here, isn't it? I
Yes,
am
it is.
I am so glad to have her here to explore how firm owners and women in accounting can build legacies, manage risk, and design financial peace in the midst of busy lives. Thank you so much for being with me here today, Connie, and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Nicole.
Yes, so you work with a lot of entrepreneurs. What's the first financial habit that you look for in a healthy firm owner?
A healthy firm owner, I look for balance, and this is family life balance. As we all know, that we can easily get burned out. And when there's not balance there in someone's life, you're exactly right. I'm going to see it in the numbers. They're going to notice it first in their lives and their relationships. And then the finances happen after that. That is one critical piece. So the other piece, not that goes with the balance, is also I look for folks that believe in taking time to take care of themselves, which includes their finances as well.
Beautiful. Now, we are a group of accountants here. Many accountants help their clients optimize their financial plans, their businesses, all the things, but sometimes tend to neglect their own plan. What is a good rule of thumb for firm owners around cash reserves, separately for business and for personal?
Great question. So, I do believe in the 3 to 6 month rule, and it really does apply to personal as well as business. And what I mean by that rule is what does it take your business to run? Right? To pay for your internet, to pay for your location, all of the expenses with your business. How much is that going to cost you per month? And most folks are fine to have 3 to 6 months worth of cash reserves, just so on the off chance, maybe somebody gets sick, maybe you have to take some time off to take care of family members. Things happen in life and in business. And so I want, as a business owner, to be able to have those cash reserves where you can go take care of those things that are so important. And it's the same for personal. On the personal side of things, I certainly understand that entrepreneur, and some of your listeners might be right in this boat. You take great care of your clients, you put everything into them, but then when it comes to your own finances, yours is the last to do. Yours is, I'll get to it when I can do it tomorrow. It keeps getting pushed off. And at some point, you really have to put yourself first on that. But it is the 3 to 6 months worth of emergency fund when you're talking about your personal reserves as well that I really like my clients to have for several reasons. For one is if life happens, things happen. The second thing, as a financial advisor, if we have some other investments happening and when life happens and we need to take some reserves and take care of that thing that's happening, I don't want to have to sell investments at a loss.
Mhm.
And so it protects you in more than one way. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, great. And so taking that into account, but also thinking about a new firm owner, maybe that they've taken on a lot of debt to start this business, credit cards, line of credit, maybe they still have student loans they're working on paying off. How would you advise them to prioritize payoff versus saving, investing for the future?
There's not a one size fits all. I do have, with my clients, I do have a priority quiz, and it's very individual. Some people really need to have some cash reserves, so more than normal, to make them feel comfortable. Others don't like to have debt. Debt stresses them out. And so that moves that, that for that person, that moves out the debt um, situation a little higher. For others, they're okay. The emergency fund's more important, or getting the business going, or taking care of my marketing. So it's going to be very individualized, but no matter what is the priority, we have to have balance. We have to have a budget. Every dollar needs to have a purpose in business and also in your personal life.
I love that you started with it depends on the client. It's a very personal, individual decision to make. Because, yes, I mean, we are all individuals. I think you can't put everybody into a box, and I think that's one of the things too, like as accountants, like we need to understand that for our clients as well, and we don't want to be treated that way because everybody's goals are different, but then also like extending that to our clients, it's very important to individualize our plans to them. So that is one of the things, that we focus on and try to advise the community on. So
I love it. I strongly believe in it. And if you ever need to borrow a priority quiz, I have a great one for folks to take. It helps me tremendously. It helps me get to know my clients as well, and I'm happy to share it.
yeah, awesome. All right. Now, are there any behavioral money traps that you see accountants specifically falling into?
Oh, that one's a great question. Money carries with it a lot of emotion, and it's different for everyone. It depends on how you grew up, how you think about money, how you saw your parents dealing with money. And so those emotions as adults, believe it or not, it's under there, it's going to come out. And so I try to, particularly when I'm working with couples or business owners, it comes out. Some clients are, oh, I want, I have to have full control over everything I do. I want to know everything. Some people are like, hey, money stresses me out. I just want the professionals to do their thing, and we'll come together every once in a while, but do your thing. And again, I approach the situation of how you feel about money, how much you want to be involved, how money makes you feel. There can be a lot of power behind it. Some people, unfortunately, put a lot of their self-worth into the amount of money they make.
Right.
And, sometimes maybe that's true, but a lot of times it's not. And so getting my clients to understand, look, these are really not coordinated. They're not correlated. And so just trying to understand my client, how they feel about it. And maybe, we need to change a few of those behaviors and say, hey, this is not tied to your self worth.
So I know I kind of joke sometimes with other accountants, other firm owners specifically, that I advise my clients on accounting and tax, and sometimes I'm a therapist. And I'm sure you probably have that same situation because money is such a big part of people's lives. And so, yeah, you can get into some tricky. mindsets and behaviors and
You are exactly right. And in our roles, um, whether you like it or not, just being you as a CPA and some of your listeners out there, the folks that don't like money, that maybe there's some negative things in their life, or maybe the lack of it, or they're just getting their business started, just meeting with you is very stressful.
Mhm.
I've had people, when I introduce myself and what I do, they immediately, I mean, the hand comes up and goes, "Oh, can't talk to you, don't have it." You really have to find a way and realize these people are kind of scared of you, quite honestly, and it's okay. And but just getting underneath that layer, to find out how to communicate with them, I think is very key.
Yeah, I agree. So how do you help your clients pick an evidence-based asset allocation that they can really stick with even through volatility?
Oh, great question. Excellent question. So again, I start with prioritization with my clients. I look at risk tolerance, time horizon. Someone that's getting close to retirement versus somebody in their 20s, right? We have a different time horizon. The way I would recommend a portfolio changes because of that. Also, risk tolerance. So, risk tolerance is, there's people that would rather put money under their mattress. They're scared. The market scares them. They don't understand it. They don't understand the need to keep up with inflation. And I have others that, man, they want to step on the gas and they want to be in an all equities portfolio, which is the highest risk portfolio. And so I do this risk tolerance quiz, get to know my clients, and recommend a portfolio. When I recommend a portfolio, I'm including all of these things. I also believe in diversification. Just like in our life, we need balance. We need things in it. We need our career. We need our family. We need our extended family and our friends, right? We need all of that. And I approach diversification in a financial portfolio the same way. So we need diversification. It helps protect us from risk. It increases our earning potential. It's just it's a fabulous thing. And at Edward Jones, one of the reasons that I am with Edward Jones is we have quality investments. So the fact that we are never, well, I am never going to recommend something that doesn't have a good risk reward trade-off. um, every investment that I have here is, they've got to have a good track record. They've got to have a good fund manager in place, right? And I never, never recommend anything that I wouldn't do myself or for my family. And that makes me feel good that I'm doing something fabulous when I put together those great diversified portfolios.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it. Just and to feel good about what you're doing and know that you're really helping other
Yeah.
people.
There's no cookie cutter.
Right.
Some folks say, oh, there's one way to do a portfolio. There really isn't. And I take a look at my clients and we make that decision together.
Let's venture into the incredibly complex world of retirement planning.
Gotcha.
Could you give a plain English, I guess almost decision tree for solo 401k versus SEP IRA versus simple IRA?
Love it. So, first of all, if you are employed, I hope your company has a retirement plan. If you are fortunate enough, good for you. Participate in that. Learn the rules around that. Do they match? Do they not match? And this is for your clients too. And understanding if you got to know the rules of the game. So, what kind of retirement plan do they have if you are participating in with an employer plan? If you're not, if you are a business owner, if you're running your CPA firm, there's a couple things we look at. So, first of all, do you have employees? Um, that can dictate what you can and cannot do. Um, so a solo 401k, if you do not have employees, allows you the ability to pack away a larger amount of money than you would if you had like a simple IRA. Um, a simple IRA is great if you have, of a few employees on your books. You want to do some matching, and that one's a fabulous one. The SEP also could benefit that small business employer. Um, if you have larger than 300 employees, then we need to talk about a larger 401k plan. They all have benefits. A lot of them have Roth options with them now, as well. So pre-tax and after-tax situations. Not all of them do, but it's one thing to look at and evaluate.
Right. And so, I mean, that brings up a great point. How do you coordinate tax planning with a client CPA so then the investment strategy and your entity and comp decisions aren't just working at cross purposes, conflicting each other, I guess?
That is a great question. So I really like to, and I encourage my clients to introduce me to their CPA and their bookkeeper, because along the way, I'd like to know where they are. What are their quarterly filings? Do they have that retirement plan? Do we need to do more pre-tax now in this quarter or year or after tax? And I really, in a lot of cases with my current clients, the CPA calls me directly. The client just gives me permission to speak with them, and we coordinate and try to optimize, especially those retirement contributions.
Beautiful. I love that. And I don't know how often that happens because I can say I don't get a lot of calls from financial advisors or vice versa. So I really like that
I
setup.
love it. What I found is a lot of my clients, they're running their business, they're busy running their business, and they don't understand the tax side. They don't understand even the bookkeeping side.
Right,
And they certainly might not understand my side on the investment side. And so I found that, hey, just allowing the CPA to call me directly, oh, it saves everyone a lot of time and a lot of headache, a lot of miscommunication.
right. Yes, a lot of miscommunication. Yeah. Now you brought up um, employer-based retirement plans. So let's say that somebody is changing employers or they've previously had, 5 employers. What is your recommendation as far as leaving the funds earned in each employer account? Or should they, each time they are changing employers, roll it over to their new employer's account?
Oh, another great question, Nicole. You're so great with your questions today. Um, Typically, when anyone leaves an employer, and they have a new opportunity or they decide to retire, whatever the situation is, it is most of the time, I like to evaluate it, but most of the time it's going to be better to roll those funds into an IRA. And here's the reason. So I also manage 401ks, and 401ks are an agreement between an employer and a financial organization. So we put together a 401k package that has several investment opportunities for those employees of that company. Sometimes I've seen as few as one. They have one thing they can invest in, which I think is absolutely crazy. um, Other organizations have like 60 different investments that they can choose from. Most of them are somewhere around 20, 30 investment choices. When those get packaged for that employer, um, in some instances that I have seen, they are not all high quality. They may not all fit the profile of your risk tolerance. And so you really need somebody, first of all, to help you figure out what should I be investing in and not just doing what your coworker's doing, right? But you are limited in the investment choices in all 401ks, period. When you leave that employer, one of the benefits that you're leaving behind is that employer usually pays the cost of running the 401k. So if you're no longer employed with them, the employer now is going to take those costs out of your 401k that you have saved. And we don't even realize it. And so those
Right.
monthly expenses and fees, whatever that's part of the plan, is now resting on your shoulders. So when you roll it to an IRA, um, and this is how Edward Jones works, you get to control what your portfolio is invested in, you and your financial advisor. And it's unlimited. You don't have, a small choice of 20 investments to choose from. You can choose from something that fits you better, that maybe is low risk, higher reward, that you can control, that you can um, make changes on in a heartbeat if you need to. So I like that control that you would have in an IRA versus a 401k environment. So most of the time, I'm the recommendation is to go ahead and roll that to an IRA so you can control it.
Okay. Got it. So it's not even really any of the choices I said. You're saying that don't roll it to your new employer's account. You actually should have an IRA set up that you're rolling it over to.
Right. So if you roll from one employer, right, you change employers, you've got a 401k over here, and now you have a new job and you roll it to the new job. Um, there's a lot of trades that are going to happen, right? Some assets that you're not going to be able to hold, for one thing, for good or for bad, but you're still limiting yourself now to the new plan and
Okay.
their 20 investments that you have. If you roll it to an IRA, it's yours to control.
Right. Okay. Now, I mean, you know much more about this than me. So, is there anything else around retirement plans that you feel like would really benefit the community?
There is so much. I'll touch a little bit on the small business owner, right?
Okay.
Um, I was one. I understand that mentality. You put your blood, heart, sweat, tears, money, everything, right, into building this wonderful, wonderful business that you have. And that mentality, and you'll see that in your clients too, if you serve the small business owner. Um, this is their nest egg in their mind. This is, hey, I'm going to build this to something great. And then when I sell it, that'll be my retirement. And I really hope that for them. I do. But as you all know, there's going to be a big tax hit when you do that. And
Mm,
so it is better to kind of make some contributions, have those retirement plans along the way as you're building it, taking advantage of the tax codes and the deductions, and all of that, and participating, even when you think you can't afford it, and you're still building. Do something and get in a habit of doing something. I like those automatic set it and forget it kind of contributions because, boy, you look up and you're like, oh, I got my Roth fully funded this year. Nice, right? And it's just automatically done. I love it.
good. That was really good. Yeah, I like that. All right. Well, do you have any other recommendations? Just one small action that a very busy firm owner could take this week that could just get them started down the right path of making well-informed, good financial decisions for their future.
Is this for the business owner or for their clients?
Let's go with both.
Let's go with both. I think one thing to take away for your clients is really understanding how your client feels about money, trying to understand that emotion behind it. And if it stresses them out, hey, let's automate some things. Let's things that you don't have to think about because every time they open it up and they have something from you or me, it stresses them out.
Mm,
Right. So getting to know other people are more detailed and they might want more from you. But just getting to know them and how they want to interact with you is a big one. Um, and for the small business owner, I think the one small thing that you can do is take care of yourself and take
mm,
care of yourself in the money area. Like I
right.
said, even if you don't feel like you can, my kids started their Roth IRAs when they were 8 and 10 for mowing the lawn, babysitting, all that stuff went in there. And we just got in a habit. It's like $5 here, $10 here. What I'm going to start with $100, whatever it is, just getting yourself in the habit. And I think that that crosses over into the rest of our life too, whether it's fitness, whether it's eating right. You don't have to be perfect tomorrow and have everything just be wonderful when we wake up and I'm going to do this and this. It is just a little tiny step. Go, if it's a fitness goal, go for a 5-minute walk. That's a great start. If you need more time with your family, right, schedule some time with your family. If you don't feel like I'm behind on my retirement, well, let's set up an ACH. Let's look at the budget. Let's try to find something and set it up automatically. Just a little step at a time is going to get you where you want to go.
Very well said. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. This has been very educational.
Thank you for having me, Nicole. You're fabulous. I wish you and your clients and everyone that you work with. I think they are blessed to know you. And thank you for doing the podcast. I hope it's helpful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, just to wrap this up, where can listeners learn more or connect with you, find you, get educational resources, or if they're just interested in learning more, where can they find you?
Absolutely. I am happy to help in any capacity that I can. Um, my phone number is 303-482-1749. You can also Google me. You can look for Connie Williams at Edward Jones. I'll pop up on there. And my email is really simple too. It's connie.williams@edwardjones.com.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yes, ma'am. All right, that is it for today's episode. At CPA Moms, we believe that women can have a successful career and raise a happy family. If you are ready to embrace work-life harmony and connect with like-hearted women, join our CPA Moms Facebook community. Just click the link in the show notes or search CPA Moms on Facebook. We can't wait to welcome you. Until next time, thank you for being here. We see you, we believe in you, and we can't wait to grow with you.